We can resume at this point.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Presentations and recognitions. Gage Bradford, Camden County Resource. Not here.
I do not see him. I did not see him. He was scheduled to appear tonight to talk about the Hefty Renewal Program. This is a program that is being run by Hefty, the trash bag company, and also an opportunity for some additional recycling. I know that some residents had some concerns about some of the program's offerings, and we had invited Gage to be here tonight to address some of those concerns. I know they do have quite a bit of information on.
It's run through Rumpke, though.
It's run
Right.
through Rumpke, but Hamilton
Yeah.
County Resource is promoting the program as well. I apologize, I have not heard from him why he did not appear tonight, but I can get some additional information and provide that to the board, or ask that Gage attend our next meeting in December if the board would prefer.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Public forum. Individuals who wish to address the board, anybody else left here, should state their name and address for the record, make their point as clearly and concisely as possible, and limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes, which may not be shared or yielded to others. All comments shall be directed to the Board of Township Trustees. Thank you in advance for your comments. Thank you. Hello, Ruth.
Good evening.
Hi.
I'm Michael Hardy. I'm at 7757 Anderson Oaks Drive. And the Township administration deserves credit for its support of recycling, which has certainly benefited the residents. But it's come to light that there are major problems with plastics recycling in particular. So I'm going to speak to PFAs in plastics recycling. PFAS, per and polyfluorinated substances in plastics. There are nearly 15,000 different kinds of PFAS, a toxic class of fluorine chemicals, currently reported. PFAS chemicals are used to extract the natural gas liquids, which become the feedstocks for ethane cracker plants that make the raw materials for plastics, and they are also added throughout the petrochemical processing and manufacture of these plastics. Unfortunately, the identity of many PFAS chemicals is hidden from the public because they are considered proprietary, trade secrets in other words, by the petrochemical industry. Recycled plastics are usually an amalgam of many diverse kinds of plastic. Therefore, they contain many different types of PFAS. Plastic containers contain high levels of PFAS capable of leaching from the containers into foods. Hazardous additives such as Roundup or flame retardants in electronic casings may wind up inside recycled material and eventually in products where they become inappropriate, such as toys. Ubiquity. Since plastics break down into tiny particles with use and exposure to UV rays, these microplastics, microfibers, are present in air, water, fish, food, and soils worldwide. These particles are toxic not only because they contain PFAS chemicals, but also because they attract and absorb other chemicals which they come into contact. Bottled water contains more PFAS than does tap water. B, bioaccumulation. Because their carbon-fluorine bond is so strong, PFAS chemicals are extremely difficult or even impossible to break down and can accumulate and persist in the human body for long periods. C, toxicity. PFAS are harmful to human health even at very low levels. One drop of PFAS is so toxic it can contaminate the amount of water in 20 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Research shows that substantial amounts of microplastics are ingested or inhaled by humans and animals alike and have been detected in multiple organs. Chemicals in the PFAS family are passed through cord blood to embryo.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop you there because of that. But, I mean, I mean, we have this material.
Gotcha,
Yeah, and I
yes, yes.
appreciate you. And can I, well, I would like to hear from Gage first, because you're reading this in response to the hefty bag thing, I assume, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So if we can get him here next time, then we can discuss possibly some of what you're,
Okay.
yeah, that's correct? This is in response to the,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it is.
And I'm unclear on, like, just how that whole thing, I know some of it, because the idea is, as I understand it, is to take some of these plastics out of the landfills because they'll be all in that hefty bag. But I think you're having a problem with the bags themselves. Is that correct?
Much more than that.
Okay. Well, let's let him, if we can get from him and get more information, and then we all now have this.
Oh, I'm prepared also.
Oh, okay. You're coming up too? Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Ruth Hardy, Anderson Oaks Drive. As far as mechanical recycling, that's when the plastics are recycled into plastic. That handles only about 8% of plastic waste. Degrades after 1 or 2 uses. The more the plastic is reused, the more toxic it becomes. Virgin plastic is actually cheaper. Now let's look at advanced recycling. That's one of the many names used to denote plastic to fuel conversion. And under Hefty's plan, it's pyrolysis which is used to make new chemicals or synthetic fuels. Burning plastic-derived fuels generates the same hazardous pollutants as burning fossil fuels and requires ongoing virgin plastic production. It's classified as incineration under the Clean Air Act. It does not qualify as recycling by international standards because when it's burned for energy, it cannot be recycled over and over. What are the impacts of pyrolysis? Please do ask me at the end. Hefty Renew admits to a number of problems in their own commissioned Sustainable Solutions report. Please ask me about this at the end. Some of the end products listed on the Hefty Renew website are particularly concerning. 1, hydroblocks for underground drainage will be degraded over time and can leach toxic chemical contamination such as PFAS into ground or surface water. Roofing coverboard was stated to be more energy efficient, yet regular gypsum board is said to be recyclable many times over. How do the Hefty version of fire resistance, toxicity, and sound attenuation in their board compare with regular gypsum board, and will it leach PFAS? Have these been studied? Cement kiln fuel. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not running out of time. In conclusion, Hefty Renew is not transparent about either the destination or the end markets for their program. Consumers need to know which companies or vendors will be handling their waste so we can assess their environmental footprint, operational status, and compliance with relevant hazardous waste regulations. In my view, Hamilton County and municipal governments need to work together with citizen committees to figure out ways to reduce unnecessary plastic, especially single-use. They need to work on increased transparency. They need to promote scaling up reuse models and attract citizen buy-in. Rumpke must insist on increased transparency and apples-to-apples assessment comparison from Hefty and reject plastic to fuel as recycling. The Anderson Township administration should not support or endorse Rumpke's Hefty Renew proposal. I'll go back to cement kiln fuel, one of their end products. Well, I guess I can't.
Thank you.
See, why did we need this plastic on
No,
top of this plastic bottle?
Ruth, believe me.
But we could reduce before we
I agree with you.
burn it all.
I
before we
totally
burn
agree
it
with
all.
you. I mean, I'm trying to get rid of all the bottles in my house too.
And Pinky was supposed to present with me, and she was
Okay.
waylaid, so my husband was essentially thanking me.
Well, thank you for stepping in. We appreciate that, and I appreciate everything you've just said. We'll hear from them. We haven't made any decisions yet. I don't know what they've decided at the county level. I have no idea.
Yeah, the county is promoting this program, and we have not done so. We have held off on promoting the program until we have a better understanding from not only Gage, but others that are, concerned residents, others that want to provide input. So we are not promoting that program. It is not our decision whether or not that program moves forward, obviously, but it is whether or not we choose to promote it through our website, through our newsletter, through other mechanisms that we use to promote recycling in general.
Well, you bring up some very good points, so I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, anyone else for public comments?
If I may.
Yep.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you.
It's my first one, so I don't have extras. I apologize. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lieutenant Chief John Shea, 1610 Robin Way Drive. Journey to get here began in 2020, and unfortunately there were some delays because the governor decided to call me up for that little thing called COVID. Don't know if you all remember that. So it's a revisitation of an effort that we started that long ago. But I'd like to thank Mr. Sievers for taking some time before the meeting to speak with me, because it's kind of humbled me a little bit. So with the information present, I'm not going to be able to talk about everything I want to talk about in 3 minutes, but if other residents haven't spoken up, it's due to a lack of courage. And it takes a lot of courage to stand before a township and say, I'm not coming to you with a problem, I'm coming to you with something that is a big concern, and I'm willing, as well as many others who are unwilling to be in this room today, but are able to support behind the scenes to work with you for a solution. And when we talk about traffic calming and speed and things of that nature, I think the most important page in that packet is the second to the last, which highlights the number of children and elderly residents just along that little stretch there. And, I have heard, well, it's an enforcement issue. It's not. The Sheriff's Department does a fantastic job patrolling the streets, being courteous, polite, professional representatives of our wonderful township, and there are just not enough of them on the roadway. That's a problem that no one can solve in this room. It's just the inherent nature of our culture. No one wants to sign up to do the job. Our fire department does a fantastic job too, by the way. But what I'm looking to do is engineer controls for human behavior, because that's why I'm here now, is human behavior dictates that there's a speeding issue on Robin Way Drive. We have children that play in the street. We shouldn't just have to regulate them to our front yards and sidewalks. I mean, playing street hockey and basketball, that was the stuff of life growing up when I was a kid. I wanted to continue this discussion further, and I hope that you'll take what's in that packet into consideration. The speed humps, we'll have to do another speed enforcement survey, but Mr. Sievers, I'll present this from Columbia Township. It's their speed hump program, which I believe, from what I can find, is from 2016. Hamilton County Engineers has not been able to provide me yet on an update access management regulations. The last one I could find was from 2005. But I'm here to say we need your help. Patrols and enforcement is not enough. We need to engineer controls to regulate human behavior, which we know is just going to continue to get worse as time marches on. And I ask for your help in this, and I look forward to further discussions. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank
putting
you.
this together.
Yeah, thank you.
So you're telling me the kids in your neighborhood actually play outside?
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Thank you. I'm sorry I shouldn't talk to you sitting down. That's
No,
terribly rude.
No, that's fine.
My son is just a little over 3, and that's the very first thing he does. We don't do TV time at night. He doesn't want to. He likes watching Saturday morning cartoons with his old man. My daughter, she'll be a year in December, and I don't know how many of you are parents, but your priorities change. You look at things a little different. You pay attention to what's going on, especially somebody texting and driving down your roadway or speeding a little bit, right? I want my kids to outlive me, and as we've seen from the traffic data, it takes 1 second for all that to go away. So anyway, thank you.
Sir, I didn't get your name, I'm sorry.
John Shea.
John Shea.
Yes, thank you.
John, we'll follow up. I know
Yeah.
you talked to Steve already.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, there's 2 more people left. You want to talk? Anybody got anything to say? Okay, thank you. Okay, we are closing, okay, that's done. Trustee comment. I think we're all talked
I
out.
was gonna say, didn't we do
Yeah,
that?
I think we already talked.
Yeah.
We've talked enough. Let's see, do I have anything to add? No, I don't think I do. Oh, thank you, I'm back. Thank you for reelecting
Oh
me,
my God.
whoever's out
Please.
there.
Forgot
By
to
the way, I will say
congratulate
that. I will
Congratulations,
say that,
Steve.
thank you.
Yes, and if it's Brian,
Yeah, so,
congratulations.
glad to be serving another 4 years. Okay, with that, now we're going, I've lost the rest of the agenda. Okay, there it is. Oh, okay, Brian.
I also wanted to say thank you to the voters who
Oh,
showed
yes.
up.
Congratulations.
Hamilton County had a pretty big turnout, and Anderson Township was even better, so. You had a tough race.
Yeah.
And I
Brian got more than 1 vote, apparently.
I appreciate all the ones who did not skip the fiscal office section. I appreciate it. Last month, I mentioned that we had our audit report, and the state the state auditor's office just approved it, but they haven't published it. So if anybody is clamoring to see it, it's not released publicly yet. Moody's is also waiting for it. They have maintained our AA1 credit rating, but we still need, based on the draft, but we still need to submit the final. Our revenues, I was looking at them, we've collected 95% of what we've estimated. Last year, we were at 96 right now, so we're kind of on pace. We do have an appropriation change. We have the ARPA First Respondent Retention Incentive Grant that we've received the money, and now we're getting ready to disperse the funds, so we need to appropriate them.
I would move to make the appropriation changes outlined by Fiscal Officer Johnson.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
And then we also have the August 17th minutes and the August 31st minutes.
I move to adopt the meeting minutes from August 17th and August 31st, 2023.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you. Margaret, do you have anything?
No report.
Thank you. Cammie, nothing? Okay. Rick?
Good evening. The fire department only has one item tonight. We're seeking authorization to sell either obsolete or unfit items of personal equipment from the fire department. These are items that are too old, broken, etc., that are basically taking up rooms and closets and mezzanines. This is the second large group of items that we're putting on the auction, which is Gov Deals. We put you approved the first bunch of items in June, and I don't have a current amount, but as of the 1st of August, we had collected right around $3,500 for items that were doing nothing for us. So this is the second group of items we're putting on. The township incurs no fee whatsoever for the process. The Gov Deals collects the 12.5% premium right off the top. They keep it. They electronically deposit the balance into the township's account. So there's a long list, as you see on the resolution, of things that we've collected from the darkest corners of the firehouses and other places, and we're just looking for your authorization to place them on the Gov Deals auction.
I move to adopt the resolution authorizing the sale of surplus equipment pursuant to Section 505.10 of the revised code, providing for sale of personal property via internet auction.
Second. Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I have for tonight. Happy
Can
Thanksgiving.
other departments do this, right?
I'm sorry?
I mean, this Gov Deals, like, we could do a clean out.
We,
Township law.
there's actually an item under my portion of the agenda regarding other auction items.
Okay.
We have two different services, Gov Deals, which primarily we have utilized for fire department equipment because there aren't a lot of people in Hamilton County that want to buy a used fire truck. So that gives us a wider range, but there are more hoops to jump through and more items involved with Gov Deals. For the remainder of items, like one of the things I'll be talking to you about tonight is our old telephone system or furnishings or other items that we have that are more, let's say, household friendly. Those items we're going to utilize the Hamilton County surplus auction system where there is no additional cost to us. And Hamilton County actually will come out and assist us with photographing those items and placing them on the website. So we're utilizing both systems and see how that works for us this year. And so far, I think we're seeing some good results.
Yeah, it's a matter of who our target audience is.
Right.
You know, who's willing to buy the mechanical stuff, like versus phones.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
okay, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
And
Thank you.
yes, you too.
Okay. Oh, okay, Paul.
So there's a resolution in your packet for your consideration certifying written nuisance costs to the auditor. This is for the removal of a condemned structure at 2668 Elston Road.
McKenna.
I move to adopt the resolution certifying written report of action of this board and unpaid expenses in connection therewith under section 505.86 of the revised code to Hamilton County Auditor for collection.
Second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes,
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
no problem.
Thank you. That's all we had.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Dave?
Good evening. Golf Partners LLC is requesting to to get a new liquor license for All In Golf at 8182 Beachmont Avenue, and we do not have any objections to that.
I move not to object to a new liquor license request for Golf Partners LLC doing business as All In Golf located at 8182 Beachmont Avenue.
Second,
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were gonna have food there.
That's why I was here.
Oh, is that you? Okay.
If you haven't seen our signs or everything, we're an indoor golf facility. My name is Ken Kaiser. I retired after 43 years as a golf professional at Coldstream Country Club. So we are opening tomorrow.
Oh,
We will have, we're starting with 5 golf simulators. We're very family friendly. We don't want to be a restaurant. We don't want to be a bar. People come in, 3 PJ golf professionals giving golf lessons. Our simulators are the top of the line as far as technology. We're using TrackMan technology. Every PJ Tour professional uses them in their own game. So we'll teach. You can come in. It's a great way to practice and play golf. Our simulators, there are 270 golf courses available at each one of our simulators. The TrackMan adds 3 to 4 golf courses every month.
Oh, wow.
50 of these golf courses are used on the PGA Tours, LPGA Senior Tour. So we're really excited. If you've driven by, you can tell we've been doing a lot of work. It's going to be a really good place.
so where are you exactly?
We're right next to, behind Dogtown.
Oh,
Sherwin-Williams is. We're the big orange sign. We just went up last week.
Yeah, okay, great.
So,
Congratulations.
Can you sign me up now? For
our
Josh
website
wants
is
to be the
live.
first one to hit a golf ball.
Our website is live. I have some cards if you want them.
That's very
That's
cool.
how we're
Jim
doing.
Siminger lives a couple doors down from me, so we're so excited for you.
Yeah, so Jim Siminger was one of my assistants at golf.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I wouldn't normally chime in, Ken, but thank you for hosting the Turpin Golf team tonight. I would normally be there with them, but I'm here, so on your preview. So.
Oh, cool.
Was able to say hello and here.
Great. Okay, well, thank you. Well, sorry
Congratulations.
we kept you here so long. Okay. Okay, let's see. Eric.
I really wanted to meet everybody again, so.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, this evening we are, Public Works is looking for authorization to purchase 2 new service trucks. As the board is aware, Public Works budgeted $140,094 TIF dollars to purchase 2 service trucks. I am recommending that we purchase a 2022 Ram 2500 model pickup truck with a Napahide service body and a 2024 Ram 3500 cab and chassis with a Truckcraft model TC300 accessory kit that goes on the back. That's the dump bed and the toolboxes and everything that upfit that truck. The 22 Ram 2500 model pickup truck with the Napahide service body from Jeff Weiler is available for the purchase price of $59,297, less a trade-in value of $3,300 from the Township's 2003 Ford F-250 truck, less a rebate of $6,000 that results in a total purchase price of $49,999. The 2024 Ram cab and chassis, 3500 cab and chassis, with the upfitted Truckcraft bed and dump bed combination, is available from Jeff Weiler for a purchase price of $56,366, less a trade-in value of $8,000 for our 2007 Ford 550, less a rebate of $2,000. Plus the additional $27,800 is for the installation of the toolboxes and the truck bed. So the total purchase price of the 2024 Ram 3500 cab and chassis is $74,168 even. And both of those are
So these are 2 separate resolutions.
they're 2 separate
I
trucks.
move to
Yes.
authorize the purchase of a model year 2024 Ram Trucks Model 3500 cab and chassis with Truckcraft TC-300 combination body for public works use in the disposition of a surplus public works motor vehicle pursuant to section 505.10A3 as a trade-in against said purchase.
Second.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
And I authorize the purchase of a model year 2022 Ram truck model 2500 with a Napahide service body for public works use and the disposition of a surplus public works motor vehicle pursuant to section 505.10A3 as a trade-in against said purchase.
Second.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Cool.
Thank you.
If the board will indulge me, because this relates to our plowing operations, during last night's Forest Hill School Board meeting, one of the school board members that had watched our last Board of Trustees meeting where collaboration was discussed stated that the Forest Hill School District has 1.2 million square feet of parking lot and asked if the township snowplow drivers could simply swing in and plow their lots since we drive right by them. I kind of want to explain a little bit about this. As a general principle, the General Assembly has created by statute structures for funding political subdivisions in the state. Each has certain statutory powers, can put issues on the ballot in regard to funding, and share in real estate taxes, and in the township's case, TIF revenues. There's an implied balance to protect the taxpayer in that each subdivision from additional burden. For Anderson Township's case, Anderson Township Public Works Department consists of 10 plow drivers who plow approximately 18 million square feet of roadway, including over 400 cul-de-sacs, which require additional time to plow. The snow plowing operations are funded through our 1998 road and bridge levy, which was 1 mil, and again, that's back in 1998 when our last levy was passed for road and bridge. The voters approved that levy for the purpose of the general construction, reconstruction, resurfacing, and repair of streets, roads, and bridges, and for constructing, rehabilitating, repairing, or maintaining sidewalks, walkways, trails, and bicycle pathways. Our primary responsibility is obviously to clear the roads for fire, EMS, and sheriff emergency responses, the traveling public, and of course, school buses. Swinging through parking lots as our drivers are on their route would significantly delay our operations. Anderson Township, however, has been assisting the school district with their plowing operations for over 15 years. The township provides salt to the Forest Hill School District and the Anderson Park District at no cost. The township procures the salt through a bidding process contains the salt in its dome where the Forest Hill School District personnel can access the material as needed. The dome is easily located behind the Forest Hill School District central office on Beachmont Avenue, so it's easily accessible to their different schools and properties. We also provided a non-CDL international dump truck to plow and salt to the school district from mid-December of 19 or 20 until the spring. They had a vehicle that was broken down. We provided our vehicle for them to use again free of charge. Aside from plowing, each year the township also responds to a handful of requests for support or services from the Forest Hill School District Grounds and Maintenance Department. We've loaned equipment and provided other support. At the conclusion of the school board members' comments about the plowing, there was a comment made by Mr. Eckert, said something about the township being in dire straits and that the state is no longer funding snow plowing operation on Beachmont Avenue. I'm not quite sure what he was referring to. A change is occurring with the plowing of Beachmont Avenue and State Route 32. And all of that is outlined in our Anderson Insights newsletter on page 17. Essentially, the ODOT owns and maintains 32 and Beachmont Avenue. They have utilized Hamilton County Road Maintenance to plow those roads for quite some time. But due to staffing issues at the county, due to staffing issues at the state, the county is no longer going to plow Beachmont Avenue and 32. That is going back to ODOT. The township was approached about us taking on plowing Beachmont Avenue and 32. The issue we have is our plow trucks are designed to operate on township roadways, narrower streets. We would have to buy new equipment. We would have to buy larger equipment. We would have to house that equipment. We would have to add personnel. These entities are having difficulty hiring personnel. We would run into the same issue. So we have worked cooperatively with ODOT and the county. ODOT assures us that they will plow Beachmont and they will plow 32. So I'm not quite sure where that comment was made, but I want to assure everybody, Beachmont will be plowed. It's not going to be left without being touched. So thank you.
Thank you.
Glad we cleared that up.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's see. Eric, you were done. Okay, Vicki, you could just take it
Yes,
away.
Mr. Magna has the first three items.
Okay. Mark?
Good evening. The first item I have is a motion to authorize renewal of the landscape maintenance contract for 2024. In November 9th, 2021, administration opened bids for the Anderson Township 2022 landscape maintenance project. Included in the bid documents was a renewal clause for subsequent years. Based on the performance of the contractor and to maintain consistency, we recommend awarding renewal of the mowing contract LS1 and landscape maintenance contract LS2 to Merkel Lawn Care Company for 2024 in the amount of $291,822. The previous contract amount has been adjusted to include changes in landscape sites. Furthermore, a 10% contingency of $29,182 is recommended to cover unforeseen conditions outside the scope of work. Again, there's a motion for your consideration.
I move to adopt the resolution that this board hereby approves renewal of the mowing contract LS1 and landscape maintenance contract LS2 to Merkel Lawn Care Company Incorporated in the amount of $291,822, together with a 10% contingency for a maximum appropriation of $321,004. Further, this board hereby authorizes and directs the township administrator, after consultation with the law director, to enter into contract with Merkel Lawn Care Company Incorporated for the 2024 mowing contract LS1 and landscape maintenance contract LS2.
Second. Mr. Garth? Yes. Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. My next item is a request for authorization to bid Ayers Road improvements. I'm requesting authorization to prepare and advertise for bid the Ayers Road Improvements Project. I plan to advertise for bids in January 2024 with a tentative bid opening in March of 2024. I will then make a recommendation to the board and request acceptance of the lowest and best and or most responsive bidder at the March 21st, 2024 board meeting.
Is
Again,
this
your,
at the end of Ayers?
pardon?
Where is this? What section of Ayers is this?
This is Ayers Road, the original farm road from Asbury down to the Riverview Estate subdivision.
Oh, okay.
It's the widening
Along
improvement
Coldstream?
along Coldstream Country Club and the new development on the south side, yes.
Okay.
I move to authorize bid preparation and advertisement for the Ayers Road Improvement Project.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. The last item is a resolution before you to ratify the application and subsequent grant award of the Hamilton County Public Health Mini Grant. The Anderson Township was recently made aware of the Hamilton County Public Health Mini Grant Program. This program supports Hamilton County public health jurisdictions and public school districts as they continue to address and come out of the COVID-19 pandemic. Excuse me. These funds can be utilized to support mitigation, resiliency, and/or engagement strategies. HCPH provides opportunities for communities and schools to strengthen their social connectiveness and in long-term improve the health of their residents. The application cycle was very short, hence we were not able to approach the board before making an application. However, I'm pleased to announce that our application, which was to support and enhance senior center programming, was approved for the full application amount of $35,000. This project will provide a wide variety of opportunities for senior citizens in the communities of Anderson Township, Mount Washington, the village of Newtown, and other nearby neighborhoods. The new programs to be added will improve social, physical, and cognitive experiences as well as social engagement to reduce loneliness and improve overall health. There is a scope of service attached for this grant, and again, there is a resolution to ratify this application and award.
Thank you. Was this a We Thrive grant?
No.
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 This is Hamilton County Public Health.
This was separate.
Wow.
But it-
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And so it's for the seniors.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Thank you.
They were thrilled.
Yeah, that's exciting. I move to ratify the application and subsequent grant award of $35,000 from the Hamilton County Public Health Mini Grant to enhance Anderson Township Senior Center programming.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. I yield the remainder of my time.
Mr. Seaver.
I don't know if he was under 3 minutes, and Mark, I don't know, I would want to give kudos to Terry Molnix for
Terry's Molnix, she put it together along with Claire.
Yeah.
O'Connell, as far as all the programs, the equipment, all the things that go into things that will enhance, provide more programs and activities for the seniors.
yeah, social isolation, so it's
Yeah.
great, yeah.
They're very excited.
And we'll be promoting that, and that's where the next item comes into play, which is our communications consultant appointment for 2024. We've utilized the services of Nancy Kane for this position since we don't have in-house communication coordinator for almost 20 years now. And so there is a motion for your consideration to continue that for 2024. I will note that we continue to hover in the same range despite our continued increase of media and everything else that we're trying to do to get the word out. So if there's any questions, happy to answer that. Otherwise, appreciate your consideration.
I move to authorize the extension of the continuing consultant role of Nancy Kane as communications consultant at the rate of $66 an hour for a total not to exceed $35,000 in 2024.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. I just want to say, I read this today in a waiting room. It's so well done.
It
And
is
there's
very
so much information, and people tell me all the time, I learn everything by reading this, so I'm glad we do it. Thank you. Okay, now, let's see, who's next?
Ms. Parker.
Ms. Parker. Oh, everybody gets to speak tonight.
Everybody
in
gets
the room.
As the board is aware, the Public Works Director, Mr. Lugamule, and I have been meeting with representatives of the Road Maintenance Collective Bargaining Unit to come to an agreement regarding their labor contract. And we believe we have come to a package that is favorable to both those employees as well as responsible to our township taxpayers. There were a few changes, no big sweeping changes, and the board is aware of the list of changes. I don't have it right in front of me, but if you have any questions, be happy to answer. those. Otherwise, if the board is comfortable going ahead and acting on that tonight, we can do that. We don't have to address this evening, but we certainly can if the board is comfortable and doesn't require any more research or questions.
Yeah, I move to authorize the township administrator to execute the 2024 to 2026 road maintenance collective bargaining agreement as presented.
Second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. Great, good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I have the two final items. The first, as was briefly mentioned before, is a resolution that would authorize the sale of surplus equipment through Hamilton County Surplus Internet Auction. This includes some phones. We had a Cisco phone system when we opened this building in 2008. That phone system was no longer supported, so we have installed a new phone system. Those phones are for auction, as well as a printer, and, two printers actually. So this is the beginning of our clean out. We do have other items. We're hoping that toward the end of the year and early next year that staff have some downtime to where we can do some more cleaning out, but we're doing it as time permits.
I move to adopt a resolution authorizing the sale of surplus equipment by use of Hamilton County Surplus Internet Auction pursuant to Section 50510 of the revised code, providing for sale of personal property via internet auction.
Second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Yes, and the last item for consideration this evening is the appointment of a representative to the Board of Directors of the Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana Regional Council of Governments. Mr. Josh has been in that, Mr. Girth. Josh, as in Mr. Josh. Mr. Josh has been in that role, and Mrs. D has been the alternate. So there is a motion before the board where you can determine who is to fill those roles
Did we already talk?
moving forward.
No. Okay. Are you doing it again? Aren't
I'm
you like
planning
the
on it.
president or something?
Well,
next
if I
week?
stay on the board, I'm hoping, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd like to stay on it.
Yeah,
But you
okay.
two have to, we
Do
need
you
an
want me to be
alternate.
alternate, or do you want to be alternate?
I don't care, because if you can't go, I can go. So you can be
So make
alternate.
you alternate?
Can I be the alternate of the alternate? Do they
Alternatively,
allow
yes.
that? Huh?
I don't know.
Well,
But
tell
there's,
'em-
but we only need to appoint two, so.
Okay,
Okay, so tell them if she can't go, though, I can go.
but Dee's my alternate.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll move to appoint Josh Girth as Anderson Township's representative to the Board of Directors of Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana Regional Council of Governments, and to appoint Lexi Lawson as alternate.
Second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all we have this evening.
Okay, our next regular meeting is December 21st, 2023 at 5 PM. And is that it, really? Okay, we're done, right? We don't have
Yes.
anything from executive session?
No, we do not.
Okay, we're done. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Have a
This
great
has been a
Thanksgiving.
long meeting.
This
You need
has
to
been very
adjourn.
long.
This is I need to, okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, sorry.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. This is not one of our record-breaking meetings. I think this is a record-breaking